Hey everybody, it's yours truly, John Levy, and thanks for joining in for another RPG, otherwise known as role-playing games video. Last video, I did a brief tutorial of Pulp Cthulhu. One of the other books which I do have, but not here with me, is Call of Cthulhu. So there is slight differences in the Pulp Cthulhu where you actually play a hero, and I think some of the stats get more, quote me if I'm wrong. But today's RPG system that I wanted to share with everybody is for all those fans out there that enjoy vampires and you know, the TV show Vampire Diaries, the movie Dracula, anything that has to do with vampires. And I know for a fact there is a ton of vampire lovers out there. With that said, the game system that I wanted to show today was called Vampire the Masquerade. So you can see all my yellow tabs up here. I actually been playing it. Actually, I was running a game recently. It was called Philadelphia by Night. So a lot of these storytellers, which or game masters, whatever you want to call them, usually tell their stories within the town or city that they live in. Me being in Philadelphia, I based my story Philadelphia by Night. And the cool thing about Vampire the Masquerade, which I like, and by the way, this is Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. There's other editions out there, but this was the newest one I seen when I went on Amazon, and I figured I'd give it a shot. And not playing it before, and not knowing what I was getting into, I went with the V5 edition. I know there's like a 20th edition or something like that, or just a regular basic. But the cool thing about Vampire the Masquerade is, before I get into depth, there's two factions, okay? You have the Camarilla, okay? And the Camarilla are basically a lot of the rich-to-do people who are in the arts, stuff like that. And inside this book, it goes in depth about the Camarilla. I mean, anything you want to know about it. I'm not a Vampire the Masquerade guru. I'm learning as I go. But the other faction of Vampire the Masquerade is the Anarch. Okay? You can see both these books are cool. The Anarch people are kind of like the vampires who don't care about, like, so it's called the Masquerade. And the Masquerade pretty much is the vampires keep in secret. So if there's a masquerade breach or something like that, there's bosses like the sheriffs and so forth like that, and the princes or something like that, that if a vampire breaches the masquerade, they go in front of a court. Sometimes they just might even kill them. So this is really a reality, life-like based game. And if you're on Facebook, they have a lot of Vampire the Masquerade pages and groups where people actually get dressed up in character and play vampire. Now, would I do something like that? I might, but I think it's like a little overboard. And when these guys dress up in character and play out their character for real, voice-wise, they play it on YouTube. And you can watch a lot of these shows, YouTube shows, and some of these games are like an hour long. Some of them play for a couple hours. So it's actually pretty cool. My wife just sent me a text message. What are you doing? Give me a second. Just doing a brief tutorial, my love. I'll be right down. What? I'm doing a brief video. Be right there. I want to watch that movie that's on there, by the way. A lot of people were talking about it. All right. Sorry about that. So the movie I was getting ready to watch, my buddy Al, that I'm playing this Call of Cthulhu with, Pulp Cthulhu is in the Mouth of Madness. So Al, if you watch this, let it be known that I'm going to rent this in the Mouth of Madness. So anyway, the Anarchs, as I get back to that, the Anarchs really don't care. And the Anarchs and the Camarillas, they don't get along. So there's a lot of fighting on it. But as a storyteller, you can pretty much make whatever you want happen. A lot of people that I've seen on these Facebook pages, these Facebook groups for these Vampire the Masquerades, they feel that they have to go by the book, like this thing, which is the so this is like the Keeper's Guide. This basically tells you everything, how to make a character. But the people on YouTube or on Facebook always talk about, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? What can happen in this scenario? What can happen in that scenario? The bottom line is as a storyteller or a game master, whatever you want to call yourself, you can make whatever you want happen in this game. You don't have to use this verbatim. The bottom line is you want to make these games fun. So with that being said, let me pull out my, so there's actually different kinds of vampires you can play. You have, and I can actually get into it. You have the classes of vampires. You have what's called the Bruja, and that's on page 63. Right, 63. So, and that's what the Bruja look like. They kind of look like punk vampires, right? And basically, the Bruja is like rabble, punks, hipsters, like all the people in Fishtown. So that would make a great series for Anarchs. Prometheans, rebels, philosopher, and kings and Helens. So that's the Bruja class. And like I said, it gets a little bit more in depth as to, the clan in itself. The next one are the Gangrels. And Gangrel, which is on page 69, Gangrels, like these class of vampires can actually change forms. Like they can turn into wolves or like that, from what I understand. And they're called the Clan of the Beast. Animals, ferals, savages, barbarians, wolves, and strays. That's actually a pretty cool clan if you want to play Gangrel. I don't think I would ever do a Gangrel, but it's a pretty cool class, just knowing what they can do and their traits. See, each vampire class has different traits that they can do, abilities, basically. The next one is Malkavians. And Malkavians, which is on page 75, let me see here. Oh, here we go. Malkavians are like your crazy people. They're lunatics, and that's basically what it says. The Clan of the Moon. Lunatics, madmen, jesters, oracles, dervishes, visionaries, and children of Malkav. Like if you want to play like a nutcase or something like that, someone who always has like an imaginary friend type style, Malkavian is the style for you. And I'm going to actually show you that. Malkavians, okay? Yeah, I don't know if they had any other. Okay, so here's some pictures. Some really cool pictures. That's the Malkavian class. I would never play a Malkavian. Just not my style. What else do we have here? You have the Nosferatu. And the Nosferatu are vampires that are decaying. They're ugly. They got to wear masks. They hide in sewers, stuff like that. And that's Nosferatu, basically on page 81. So let's see here. 87, 81. And here's pictures of Nosferatus. You can see they're ugly, not all that great looking. And that's the Nosferatu. They have some pretty good abilities too. The other class are the Toreador, which is on 87. Toreadors are your divas. Clan of the Rose, degenerates, artists, harlots. If I'm pronouncing these wrong, I apologize. Archelites, hedonists, sensates, and perverts. So if you're a lot of perverts out there, Toreador would be your class. And Here's pictures of the tortors. You can see, right? That's your tortor class. And like I said, this is just going to be a brief tutorial. I want to talk to a lot of friends that are on my Facebook page. Don't know I do gaming, but you know, if you're not out and you're a family guy and you want to play these games, you can buy these books. Actually, you can get in touch with me and we can game. The other one are Tremors, a Tremor, which is on page 93. And again, everything that I'm going through here is basically tells you how to play the game. Tremor are like magicians and stuff like that. See, like a magician. Sorcery, kind of, sort of. They do sorcery. They can do things with blood and whatnot. Pretty cool. Urspers, whatever that is. Warlocks. Hematics. So I can't even pronounce some of these goddamn things. Transgressors, Broken Clan, and Blood Witches. So again, they're actually, they can do magical stuff. All kinds of shit with blood and stuff like that. And here's some pictures of them. And that's your Tremor. Then you have the Ventru. The Ventru, which is on page 99, is the Clan of Kings. Blue Bloods, Tyrants, Warlords, Patricians, Borgias, the Cult of Mithras. They're more like your upper class people, your suits, businessmen. Just like your high society class people. And that's a picture of these guys. They're actually a pretty cool class to play. And last but not least is the Caitiff. The Caitiff, which is on page 105. And as you can see, like I said, if you just follow along in the book here, man, it tells you everything. The Caitiff is the clanless. The panders, the orphans, trash, scum, and freestylers. They're basically the kids that weren't wanted or something like that. And maybe a vampire came along and maybe felt bad for them or something like that. And then turned them. Wait a minute here. I thought they had pictures of these guys. Right. 105. Like they were raised on the street, stuff like that. So now all these classes that I mentioned in this book, you can be part of the Camarilla, and you can also be Anarch and be all these classes. So you could choose what faction you want to be. Usually it's the storyteller. So if he's running a Camarilla based game, you would, you choose any of those classes that I mentioned, you'd be Camarilla. And you'd be Anarchs, like I said, the people who don't care. And then you play the game. It's all based off of like it was before last night. I have the dice around here somewhere. You got 20-sided dice, which is called D20. You have, well, actually, I'm sorry, you don't use the D20s. Basically, what you use are 10-sided dice, or D10, or D100. And that's how you do a lot of your rolls. They're percentage rolls. So if you want to do something in the game, you would roll these percentage dice to see if you succeed or not. And in Vampire the Masquerade, there could be penalty dice. Like if something's a little bit hard, if you're a little under stress or something like that, the storyteller or game master could actually say there's a penalty to it to make it a little bit harder for you. The other book I have for Vampire the Masquerade is called Chicago by Night. Okay? And this is basically chronicles all about Chicago. It basically helps you out if you want to make stories and stuff like that. And again, it's all made by the corporation called World of Darkness, and they're the people who make these books. See, you can see World of Darkness. So anyway, I thought I would share that with you. This would make a pretty good video since the other day I was talking about the Pulp Cthulhu. So hey, if there's any of my friends out there that used to play role-playing games or never played role-playing games and you think you might want to, just hit me up, give me a call, text me, whatever, and we could play Philadelphia by Night. Again, this is for all your vampire enthusiasts, and I'm learning just as well. Although I played in some games and I storytell the game, Again, in the story guide, the main book here, basically it tells you this isn't the Bible. You can play the game how you want, make the rules how you want, but within reason. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video and this session of Vampire the Masquerade role-playing game, which otherwise called RPGs. So again, if you like my video, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe and share with everybody. I'm trying to build my fan base up to at least 1,000 subscribers. Right now, I believe I'm at like 430 some. So do me a favor, if you like this video, again, please hit like and subscribe, hit the notifications button. That way I'll alert you when I come on if I do a live session. And when I do live streams, you can actually type in a live chat and we can have conversation. We can bring up any topics. So again, for everybody, I want to thank you for joining in, and we'll talk to you guys soon.